Hello everyone, it is I, Fable, your new best friend. I was recommended to check out the story of Nova Prime. Alright, Nova Prime. This is something you guys want me to do. Feel free to recommend me in the comment section. However, I am kind of focusing more on what I want. So if you want to sweeten the deal, you can donate to my Ko-Fi. I'd be more than happy to look at stuff you guys recommend if you pay me for it. I'm not kidding. I am so tired of everyone taking advantage of me now. So yeah, if I get mad at you, just know I'm not sorry. Anyway, let's go. Let's check out another Prime. That's not Rodimus or Optimus or Primal.
This week, it's time for another trip into Cybertron's distant past
Oh,
for a
yeah.
look at the story of one of the robots who carried the Matrix of Leadership before Optimus Prime. These are the basics on Nova Prime. Nova Prime was an original character created by writer Simon Furman and artist Dawn Figueroa for IDW Publishing's Transformers comic books. First appearing in 2007, Nova transformed into a Cybertronian truck and was the ruler of Cybertron during its golden age, long before the Transformer race ever split into Autobots and Decepticons and went to war. But unlike his present-day successor Optimus Prime, Nova wasn't a noble leader.
Of course
he
he
believed
wasn't.
Transformers were superior to all other forms of life, and that it was
he's
their
one of those
destiny to
leaders.
conquer the universe.
Come on, man.
Nova was born during Cybertron's barbarous prehistory, when the planet was ruled by the original 13 Primes. When the Primes disappeared, leaving their followers to fight amongst themselves, it was Nova that...
Wait, the original Primes disappeared? Is there any reason why? Does anyone know? Question mark. Also, hold on. I need to remember to edit this part out.
known as Nova Major, who brought peace to the planet, uniting the populace to found a prosperous new Cybertronian society.
I don't know, I don't like him.
Taking up the Matrix of Leadership, Nova granted himself the title of Prime, but he wasn't content with bringing order to his homeworld, and soon set his sights on subjugating other planets. As he plotted, Nova Prime...
Okay, so basically, he got the Matrix of Leadership, but instead of being granted the title from the Matrix or from like one of the past incarnations, he just decided, hey, I'm now a Prime. Eat dirt, nerds. Is that what I'm getting? Because that's kind of messed up, not gonna lie.
Felt a strange psychic pull, drawing him towards some mysterious source of power out in space. And, leaving the Matrix behind, he and his closest followers set off aboard the great spaceship, the Ark, to locate it.
It's
Their
always
journey
the
led
Ark,
them through
though.
a wormhole to a parallel dimension, a strange, dead universe where no life existed, which transformed them into undead beings.
Ooh,
Here,
undead.
Nova found the power that had called to
Undead
him
Transformers?
an evil counterpart of the Matrix called the Darkness, which he took into his body, inverting his colors and renaming himself Nemesis Prime. Trapped in the dead universe for 6 million years,
oh my
Nemesis
God.
Prime eventually returned in the present day with a plan to expand the dead universe and have it consume the living one, creating a united reality that the Darkness would give him the power to rule. However, Nemesis feared that the Darkness would instead...
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I don't think I'm ever gonna get used to the fact that the Transformers can live for millions of years and act like that's completely normal. That's the part that throws me off so many times. I'm not even kidding. I can't.
Instinctively seek to move along the line of Matrix bearers, from himself to the talisman's current holder, Optimus Prime. So he set out to eliminate Optimus to prevent this from happening. During the battle, Nemesis was betrayed by one of his own followers, Galvatron, who shot him and took the Darkness for himself.
Of course he did.
Nemesis Prime was believed destroyed, but a few years later, it was revealed that his undead essence still lived within the dead universe. It turned out that all along, he had been secretly manipulated by the true master of the dead universe, an ancient eldritch horror known as the D-Void.
Alright, I'm just gonna say this, dude. The person that recommended this to me, I love you. You know me so far. Alright, I need to know more about this ancient eldritch abomination, and I need to kick its ass so it knows who's the king of all the eldritch abominations. I'm not the king. I'm not an eldritch abomination, I swear. Shifty eyes.
Which now possessed Nemesis's body as part of a plan to trick Galvatron into helping it in its continued attempts to consume the living universe. Ultimately, the D-Void was destroyed by Optimus Prime
that's
with
good.
the power
Yay.
of the Matrix, which in turn freed Nemesis Prime from its influence, reverting him to Nova Prime once more. But Nova's desire for conquest remained unchanged, and with the dead universe itself now dying around him, he made one final attempt to escape in the 2013 crossover event, Dark Cybertron.
Ooh.
Again, Optimus Prime stood in his way, and, determined to reclaim the Prime name for goodness and decency, the Autobot leader finally succeeded in defeating and destroying Nova Prime once and for all. Before Nova Prime was introduced in 2007, the lineage of Primes hadn't been explored very deeply by Transformers lore, with not much more than a flashback montage in the original cartoon, and a list of names in the Marvel comic book written by Furman himself, offering any insight into the history and identities of the robots who had carried the Matrix
Look, it's
before Optimus
Rodimus.
Prime. Significantly though, the Marvel list named one of these past Primes Prime Nova. There can be little doubt that Furman was referencing this name when he created Nova Prime for IDW, and some subsequent media has retroactively treated them as being the same character. Nova's introduction opened the way to a deeper exploration of the Prime line. Crucially, he was the first of Optimus's predecessors to be depicted as corrupt, an idea that went on to influence many future stories, not just from IDW, but all across Transformers media, to the point that, in the last decade, most past Primes have come to be characterized the same way, as amoral leaders abusing their power.
Aw, it sucks, man.
Nova himself, meanwhile, went on to appear in a selection of other media outside IDW's comics, most notably the 2015 video game Transformers Devastation. In this similar but different version.
Oh, speaking of Transformers Devastation, I saw an Optimus Prime toy at the store today, and it was Devastation's Optimus, and someone said he looked very well, two people did, and I just thought he looked alright to me. I mean, it wasn't the best looking model. I'm sure there's better ones, but I thought he was alright. I don't know. I'm weird. I don't care for fancy stuff. I just think if it looks neat, it just looks neat, you know? Pretty sure I'm gonna get flamed in the comments section, but that's fine.
His story, Nova was a benevolent ruler who left Cybertron on the ship Proudstar to establish colonies on uninhabited worlds, as a way to preserve the culture of Cybertron forever. But an encounter with the Dark God, Unicron, tainted him with evil, and he instead began conquering and cyberforming inhabited worlds. To stop him, one of his crew, Kranix, crashed the Proudstar on Earth, seemingly killing all aboard.
Yarf.
The Proudstar was unearthed by the Decepticons in the present day, and though their attempt to use its technology to cyberform Earth was foiled by the Autobots, a post-credits scene revealed that Nova Prime still lived, as he awoke in a stasis chamber in the ship's depths. Sadly, to date, the game hasn't received a sequel, so this story has never been continued. 2015 also saw the release of the first toy of Nova Prime, a retool and recolor of the Transformers Generations Orion Pax figure, offered exclusively through the Transformers Collectors
I'm pretty sure it's
Club.
not, but it's not.
The release of the figure led to Nova Prime appearing in the club's Shattered Glass comic. But in this story, set in a mirror universe of evil Autobots and heroic Decepticons, Nova Prime was a very different character, not Optimus Prime's predecessor, but the upgraded form of Optimus himself.
Oh god.
Mirroring the events
Oh
of
god.
the Transformers the movie, the evil Optimus was badly wounded in battle and jettisoned into space by his treacherous lieutenant, Rodimus. There, he was found by Unicron, who in this universe was a force of peace.
So instead of Megatron becoming Galvatron, Optimus became Nova. Gotcha.
And order. Unicron used his powers to reformat Optimus into Nova Prime, purifying his evil mind and turning him into a warrior for good, who helped save the universe from Unicron's evil brother, Primus.
You know what? I'll take it. I said it's stupid, but I retract my
Everyone
statement.
knows the old saying about how power corrupts, and Nova Prime is proof of how the power of a Prime can corrupt absolutely. A dark reminder for Optimus Prime of the burden of his title, and his responsibility to do all that he can to ensure that the Prime name will go down in history standing for his goodness and heroism instead of Nova's evil. And those are the basic.
Well, not gonna lie, I thought it was interesting. It makes me sad to know that a lot of the primes, a lot of the primes in the stories are starting to become more evil, which just really sucks because they're supposed to be the heroes of Cybertron. But hey, what can you do, right? Anyway, if you like this kind of content, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know which one you want me to do. I might do it. If not, you'll have to pay me like $5. I'm not kidding. Anyway, love you. Bye.